Hey everyone, welcome back to Fast Charging with BnB, episode number 1,432,349. I am Bear.
I'm Brian.
And we are back this week to talk about some EV news and the cool things that are going on. How is everybody?
Brian? I can speak for myself. I'm doing all right. Pretty good. It's obviously warming up in here. I'm not dying.
Well, that's good. And it's more than warming up in here, and I got my AC going. So if you guys hear that, it's a little bit of white noise to help you enjoy the show. Sounds good, right?
Totally.
All right. So, shall we get right into this?
I think so.
All right. So, the first thing that I'm going to tell you guys is Tesla's production might be kicking up because what you see on my screen, and I assume Brian's, is a picture of a Model S that was supposed to be delivered in late July to early September. And the owner, yours truly, just got this notification yesterday saying that the car is ready to be delivered. We're talking a month and a half to 3 months early. So I was not expecting this, but Tesla is delivering the car. So what do you think that means, Brian, as far as production goes for the Model S's?
I think it means things are picking up. I don't think it's a weakness of orders. I think the weakness of orders is something that they already had. I think it means part shortages are getting ironed out. Production is ramping better than expected.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited. We're probably going to do some sort of video. Hopefully I'm around when the car gets delivered. And we will, we're going to maybe do a little comparison against that Lucid Air GT that I drove last week. And see what we can come up with, but pretty excited. I know no one wants to really see another Model S review, but we're going to put something together and try and make it interesting where we don't drive it in the dirt, or maybe we will. I don't know.
Well, and I think I could still see another review or two, and it's an interesting car. It is your long-range Model S, not a Plaid, and Digital Blade Canada wish to say congratulations to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Digital Blade. And I'm a little nervous about these payments, but I think we're going to raise the level of Patreon support, and that will pay for it.
Yes, because that's what patrons really find value in.
Yes.
Is you having a Model S.
Why not?
Right?
Well, shit, I should have just gone for the Plaid. if that's how we're paying for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to continue my my ways in the cartel, and that will pay for it. So I'm not really worried about it.
Because that's how that works.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's black. It's more cartel-like. Stealth.
Well, did you know that electric vehicles are measurably reducing global oil demand by 1.5 million barrels a day?
Well, that's pretty significant. Do you know what the how many barrels of oil are used a day?
I'm going to say 90 million.
I don't know the answer to the question.
Oh, I think it is. Somebody can fact check me in the stats. I watched a video by Climate Town this week, a very funny channel that does really great work. And I want to say it's 90 million barrels a day.
Well, that's significant. If EVs represent like 3% of all the ICE vehicles that are being sold, it would make sense that it's going to go down about the equivalent. Well, actually, it shouldn't go down by that much, but I don't know. Somebody will shoot that up and tell us.
Yeah, John's touchpad confirmed 90 million.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah, almost 2%, maybe close to 2%. I've got Ellie on here who says, "Hi, Bear. I'm wondering if Ellie is the Ellie that is my number one fan who sometimes pops up and claims to be. Is this that Ellie? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious."
And Digital Blade Canada on your channel is saying that when in Arizona next, they will look to getting a Turo Tesla from you.
Well, that's fantastic. When we do our video of this car, we are going to supply a link to where you can find the car on Turo, and you'll see my other cars also listed on there, a Model Y and a Model 3, and soon a Hyundai Ioniq. I'm going to try and get more to the electric and hybrid type of vehicles on there.
So if you, yeah, it's good to see that we're finally getting some commercial vehicles using alternative fuels. Passenger vehicles are growing, buses growing steadily, 2- and 3-wheelers growing quite quickly, which is great. Are there a lot of EVs on the road in Arizona?
Apparently there's 28,770, but
Oh,
I question that number. That seems low. And
I wonder how old this chart is. Let's look at the bottom and see. It might be last year's numbers.
yeah, but it's from Allen's factory outlet, so
I just noticed that too. Hey, good viral marketing, Alan.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know how he got on there. Some of these numbers do surprise me, and some of them don't. Like North Dakota doesn't surprise me that there's not a lot of EVs there, just because I think it might actually be difficult getting from one charger to another charger in North Dakota.
I would agree with that, absolutely.
Now, Mississippi being near the bottom, that surprises me a lot, because I didn't think that. I would think that there'd be no reason for someone in Mississippi not to get one.
Unless oil and gas are cheap on the Gulf Coast.
It is cheap on the Gulf Coast. I was there last month, and I do remember seeing the gas prices in Texas and Louisiana were significantly lower than what it is here in Arizona, and certainly in California. California being the place that has the highest gas prices puts them at the top. I'm just surprised that they are that far at the top. But I see Teslas here in Arizona constantly. So if there's 28,770, I think I've seen them all.
And for that matter, though, it's still only barely over 1% in California. 1,000 out of 100,000 residents.
Yeah.
But it takes time. It takes 20 years to turn over the entire fleet, more or less.
Yes, that's true. It's going to take some time. And with these gas prices the way they are, they're going to keep selling every single EV that is made.
I believe that you are correct in that. Did you know that there's a report that says sales of internal combustion vehicles are now in permanent decline? We have reached peak internal combustion.
Well, that is interesting. I'm surprised that we are there because they're still selling a lot of them constantly, and they still sell a significant amount more. But I guess maybe it's due to the fact that there's none to sell, I suppose.
Maybe, but I saw an interesting chart last week that showed most auto manufacturers are still in decline across the board, with only a handful showing positive numbers.
Yeah.
So whether it's the parts shortage, I mean, can we still blame the part shortage? I guess.
Yeah,
I
think we can, because if it wasn't a parts shortage, I go to car lots like every other day just for fun, and they're still empty. There's nothing to buy there. The choices kind of suck. So.
And they're still seeing significant second stickers, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
JJ said gas prices will never go down in order to compensate for the decline. I don't think that's the reason. I think they're just not going to go down. The oil manufacturers or the people setting the prices, because it's not the oil manufacturers that set these prices. They're set on markets, so which is really unfortunate. But there's no reason for it to go down. People are still doing their daily day-to-day thing, and they're getting by. So it's possible that it never really goes down to the levels that it was 2 years ago. So
yeah, and if people are still buying it, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. People are still buying it. The demand hasn't gone down. So
yeah.
It's almost
Although
like the dealerships, like they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing what they're doing, and then you have the oil guys. Oh well, let's just get them for as much as we can, but it's pushing people away from oil because they have an option now.
Yeah, and the real test I think will be this summer when road trip season happens, because I know our plans have scaled back. We normally go quite far, and we are only going to be doing day trips this summer from home. And in part it's because we've got a diabetic dog that we don't feel comfortable leaving with strangers, but it's also the gas.
Drop them off here. I'll take care of them.
You're very far away.
Oh yeah, toss them. Ship them.
So, do you know that Jim Farley's saying that electric vehicles are going to have a price war coming?
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. You know how I like to buy stuff, so that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I just hope that there's something that has value.
Yes. And I don't know how correct he is. Ford has been famously incorrect on an awful lot of things. I know in Europe, a lot of companies are moving away from their down-market vehicles. In the past, Ford has moved away from their down-market vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many passenger cars do they even offer? Not counting like the light trucks. They've got the Explorer, I guess. That's a passenger vehicle. Do they still make the Focus?
No, they don't. They stopped in 2019. They've got the Escape, the Edge, the Expedition. You said Explorer, and they also have this weird-looking C-Max or something. I forget what it's called now. It was called a C-Max, but I think it's a hybrid of some sort. But
while we're going with all the retro reboots like the Bronco, they should bring back the Tempo. What a turd that car was.
Yeah. But I'm going to give them credit that Maverick that they've put out, the small small pickup truck. It comes in a hybrid version. It's a decent truck. They've sold out of them. They brought back the Bronco and they made it cool. Today when I was driving around, I actually had to take my Model Y to Tesla, and it's in the body shop for the next 3.5 weeks. Sad story. But I saw a Chevy Blazer. Do you remember a Blazer? And what when you think about a Blazer, do you think of like the Bronco style Blazer, or do you think about?
No, I think of the smaller like 2000-ish.
Do you? Because I just think back of Blazers used to be cool like the Broncos. And it's good to see that Ford brought the Bronco back in the Bronco form. And I look at the Blazer, and it could have been any one of 1,000 crossover SUVs, and I'm just like, it's just bad marketing. You're going to take that name and just stick it on anything. I think Ford did a great job on the Bronco because they've turned it into, it can do everything like a Jeep can do, as far as take the doors off, take the roof off, get a soft top. I think that was a great direction for them to go in with the Bronco. Now we just need an electric version.
So the on my show last Friday, I did my live show. One of the things I covered was Ford's advertising budget. How much do you think that is? What do you think they spend per month or per year?
I'm going to go per year $4 billion.
They have gotten that high before. Yes, they have spent in the past, in recent years, over $10 million a day.
That's a lot of money.
Outrageous. That's ridiculous.
Hey, what does Tesla spend?
Well, they spend a big old goose egg.
Yeah. See, and it's kind of interesting. If I was Ford, I'd be cutting back on my advertising right now.
That's what they're doing. That was the announcement, is that they're going to cut back on advertising.
I mean, why?
Especially when
they're sold
you're
out.
Supply constrained. Yeah, you're sold out.
Yeah. Why do marketing for the Bronco, for the Maverick, for the Mach-E? You can't buy one. You can't even order one. So why are you spending money to make people aware that you still have the cars? Well,
Yes,
Mark,
that's correct.
yeah, market it when you have the cars, because right now you don't. So
You don't. Um, there's a market leader we almost forgot about.
oh, is it our friend
It is our best friend in the world.
Mary?
Yeah.
Mary.
So did you hear that demand is so high on the Chevy Bolt that they have adjusted the retail price?
So that would mean that it's going up.
Oh, no. Yes, it's going up in negative $6,000. And they've cut the price again. Wow.
$26,595. Do you think I should buy a Bolt?
I mean, look on Turo and see if anybody's renting them. But no.
Not so much. I've looked before, and there wasn't. I think they weren't on there because of the recall.
Oh.
So if a car's recalled, if a car has some sort of recall on Turo, it's automatically pulled off, and it's delisted until it's fixed. Unfortunately, some cars have no remedies, so those cars stay off. Like the Bolt it was kind of like a no remedy because it was months and months and months. So maybe I should do a Twitter poll if I should buy a Bolt.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You can also do a poll on your channel.
Yeah, I think it might be better on Twitter. I don't know.
I think so. I don't get much response on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
At
remind me. Twitter
26,000
poll.
though.
Yeah.
If you could actually get it for 27,000.
Ooh, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, it's cheaper than the Leaf.
I'm going car shopping right now.
I
We're
feel like you have a job to do first.
well. Let's see. Yeah, you're probably right. It does say MSRP from 33,500, but that might be out of date.
No. Oh, I see. Oh, online. I thought you meant this. It could be that the models that have the price cut aren't on the floor yet. Yeah.
It's very possible. Ooh,
But yeah, when we're doing the podcast, I expect you to do the bare minimum, and I will do the Brian minimum.
all right. Well, they have a red line edition for the Bolt.
What's that?
Well, type in 2023 red line edition. It looks like they made all the emblems in red on the Bolt to see if they could make it uglier.
Did they succeed? Let's find out.
Oh yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting.
I'll put out a poll later. 0 to 60 in 7 minutes. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Okay.
Faster than my Zen Electric.
It's faster than my grandma.
Well, my Zen Electric did not have a 0 to 60.
Because it did get to 60.
Correct. 0 to 35 is what she did, and boy, did she take her time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been fun on the freeway.
Oh, no.
No, you don't take that on the freeway.
No. Not authorized for that.
Did you have like a bumper sticker like the "Don't honk at me, I'm saving the planet"?
So yeah, Ford is also thinking about getting rid of dealer sales. Curious to see how that works. Well, you'll still have all the service centers.
I think that's what dealerships will turn into.
I have a theory that your dealership will not be able to find time to get you in unless you bought the car from them.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out too well for them. I think they are going to turn into service centers and used car sales, but I don't think that they will be selling new cars in the future. It's just not going to work out. I think that what Ford did by splitting up the two companies, when they end up in court, they're going to look at it and go, well, the Model E department, or whatever it's going to be called, of Ford does not have a contract with these dealerships to sell cars. Only Ford Blue does. And
Right.
I think that's their path out, is by actually creating another company. So
Acura is selling its reborn Integra through a reservation system. Volvo sells its new electric directly through online sales.
Yeah, and who started all this?
There's no way of knowing.
No, I know who started. Tesla started this.
Really? Oh, that sounds very unusual.
Yeah.
They'll never make it.
Yep. But it works out for everybody, except for what did you say they need the dealerships need extra money for their what? Their chateau or something?
Oh yeah, they're chalets.
They're chalets. Okay, I don't know what a chalet is. I thought it was a chateau.
It's a cabin, but in the Swiss Alps. Digital Blade Canada pointed out that the Leaf still has the EV tax credit, which the Bolt does not.
That is true.
That is true. But I would say the Bolt is probably a significantly more desirable car than the Leaf.
I think it is. I think it's got more room. I'm not sure which one scores higher on the ugly scale. But
I don't mind the look of the Bolt. It doesn't excite me. Cars don't have to excite me.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not a car guy, are you? So I brought up the picture of the orange Bolt again. If you could bring it up on your screen.
Yep.
And let's just get some viewer feedback on how you would describe that car.
What color is that, everybody? I am very curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay. I'm calling this, this is probably the name that they have on their design page. It's called Rotten Pumpkin.
Oh, I was going to go with Tangerine Cream Dream.
Oh, God. That sounds like it should have some 70s background music with it.
It looks like it should have some 60s background music with it.
No, I'm talking about your name, the Tangerine Cream Dream, or whatever you said.
Well, you sure memorized it for someone who doesn't seem very fond of it.
Oh, JJ's got a good one.
Let's hear it.
Golden Shower.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Hockey Day says burn yellow. John's Touchpad says per yellow.
Digital Blade Canada says rotten orange.
Rotten orange. Very nice. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
Made of gold.
Baby sick.
And guys, don't get me wrong. I like the color orange. It's one of my favorite colors. The Mach-E I ordered is in orange, so it's not that I don't like orange, but I'm just... This should come with that warning about like lights, if you're sensitive to lights flashing and things like that. There's just so much going on there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ben offered the hashtag MaryLed.
Yes.
Oh, that could be the color. MaryLed.
Orange Marys. Orange Mary.
On your channel, Scott said,
Golden Turd!
Golden Turd.
Yeah, I like Golden Turd.
Oh, David Huber said Hot Wheels Copper. For that matter, Crayola Bronze. Brass? Bronze, I think. Yeah, all good suggestions. I think we should keep moving.
And Deep says, same color as the stream.
Ah. Car priced vigilantes. Crowdsourced effort pushes back at dealer markups.
Yeah, you almost did get that markups word out, huh?
Markups.
All right. So I actually, what this is that there's a web page that was founded by some unknown person, markups.org, and it is a place where people can put in information on dealerships that are trying to rape people and con people out of their money. So I actually found this page last week, and I was looking at it and found some useful information. Was able to see, because it'll also list dealerships that are not charging a markup. So I think that this is something that's kind of interesting. People could use this, if it keeps getting used going forward, to weed out the thieves, the snake oil salesmen. But I put this article in here because it's related to the Ford article with getting rid of dealerships, which would be so fantastic. I think more people would just buy cars.
I really do. I think I've mentioned before, if the process wasn't so incredibly painful, I'd probably buy a new car every 3-4 years instead of waiting until they completely die.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just can't do it, man.
Yeah, and I completely understand that. I think of it as a sport, car shopping. So, you play sports, yeah, go car shopping. So
Everyone thinks they get a good deal.
I
Most do not.
I
Half
never
of them
I
pay above
never
average.
do. I never think I get a good deal. I always feel like I left money on the table and gave it to them, and I'm always feeling that way. That's why I always try harder on it. But moving on, but we're still on Ford, but it looks like Chris Farley's cousin did a nice troll of Tesla, and they're including an adapter to charge the F-150 Lightning off to a Tesla. And so if you find a stranded Tesla, the adapter is included, which is kind of funny because there's no other use for that.
And this could actually be an interesting little business that you have in conjunction with your towing company, where if you're out of juice, I'll just hop in my Lightning, pop out, charge you $100 instead of a tow. It's cheaper than a tow, and I'll get you 15 miles of range to get you back to the next charger.
Yeah, the only thing I gotta wonder is how fast does it charge? Isn't it supposed to be like 9 kilowatts or something?
That's a good question.
If it's 9 kilowatts, you're probably looking at an hour or a little bit short of an hour to get about 30 miles.
But I don't think you would be 30 miles from a charger.
No.
You'd probably only be 10 or 15. 20 miles will do the trick. 40 minutes.
Yeah, I would charge more than $100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
Or I can tow you for 300. It's your call.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think Tesla will come get you also.
Oh. Not if you're out of warranty.
Well, they'll charge you for it.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They'll do it if you're willing to pay. So speaking of chargers, there is a new report on the EV chargers that are out there. This is excluding Tesla superchargers, though it probably doesn't. They're finding a lot of the charging stations out there are not working. There's issues with them. Anything from missing handles to unresponsive screens locking up. I actually saw a video the other day of someone charging an Ioniq 5 on an Electrify America charging station, and when he was done, he unplugged it, and the thing kept going. And it kept charging, even though he was disconnected. And so there was obviously an issue with it, and he had to call Electrify America. They said, "Don't worry, we'll take it off your account." He had left, and he came back 2 hours later, and it was still charging on that same charger, and it didn't shut off for a while afterwards. He didn't get charged for it, but that's obviously not the point. It's just another charger station that's not working. And it's hard when at a gas station, there's always somebody there. If a pump goes down, they're going to know about it fairly quickly. They're going to call someone. They're going to come out. They're going to fix it. There's no one that actually checks on these things on a regular basis, or at least enough. But we're talking 22% of the chargers were not working.
And you would think it's the sort of thing that they could monitor remotely via remote diagnostics.
Yeah, you really would think that there should be some sort of diagnostic software in there, something showing that something's not working. So it's a little surprising that they would even have to go out there. But if I had a charging station, I owned it, and there was 8 or 10 or 15, 20 chargers, I'd probably have some cameras, and I'd probably be watching, because you can, it's like a gas station. They all have stall numbers, right? And at the end of the day, if you have a stall that hasn't charged a single car, hey, that's a sign.
Right. And at least put a ticket on the location so that next time you're out there anyway, you also check that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can get a better handle on this because it's really important to having charging stations available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because vehicles like Rivian, don't they need these charging stations?
They absolutely do. Have you seen that the R1S is kind of out and about? People have spotted it in the wild.
Yeah, what do you think about the R1S?
I don't mind it. I think it's true to the Rivian, styling motif. I don't like any car. I don't like the styling of almost anything that has this much seating. I think the Model X is the least attractive of all the Teslas.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Escalade only looks nice from certain angles, and none of them are the side.
I don't mind it. It is very square, but so is the Escalade, and so are a lot of these other vehicles. They kind of need to be, just because that's what they're doing. They're holding a lot of people.
Yeah.
I will say, and this goes for this car and some other cars, I don't like the gold brakes. Do not like them.
No. Well, they're trying to be different, and different isn't always better.
Yes. But speaking of different, they sent out a different kind of letter to shareholders, didn't they?
Bunch of red flags. We've got a cash burn problem, guys. We are burning as much cash as Tesla while making 1% as many vehicles, if that.
Yeah, if
we're lucky. So it's concerning. They do still have billions in the bank, but their analysts are saying they're going to burn 13 to 14 billion by 2024, which is a whole heap of cash. Remember, It took Tesla 15 years to show a profit.
How do you keep track of that?
And they were running so lean.
13 to and $14 billion is so much money. It's like, how do you keep track of that? It makes me want to embezzle money, because it's like they would never notice. I'm going to sell them toilet seats.
And I believe the 13 to 14 billion is optimistic, assumes substantial revenue growth, and assumes cost controls that are not yet in place. Because they're still burning like $2 billion a quarter. And 2022 to 2024, that's 12 quarters. So that'd be 24 billion at their current burn rate.
12 quarters, isn't that like $2.50? Or
isn't it what?
Isn't that like $3? 12 quarters? If only. I've solved their cash burn problem. Okay.
So guys, you've been paying with quarters. Try paying with dollars. You might get a better deal.
Yeah.
Well, my work here is done. Bonus, please.
Yeah.
Did you see the teardown that Sandy Munro is working on?
I haven't had an opportunity to watch it. For some reason, as much as I like watching Sandy Munro videos, there's something about the Rivian I just didn't want to see it torn down. I don't know why.
Well, it's all good-ish news. The assessment is that for a first iteration, it's great. Jordan, who's spearheading it, is of the opinion that it's overbuilt a bit, that they can reduce some structural elements and complexity in ways that will significantly improve price and weight. But that for a first effort, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard there's been some serious panel gap issues, though.
Oh, yes, but I don't know how many people care. Well, it's not a Tesla. If it's a Tesla, everyone complains all day.
Well,
but most of the complaints I hear about Tesla are from people who've never sat in one.
Or driven in one.
Yeah.
Well, which I guess you would have to sit in one first to be driven in one.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Forget what I said. That was kind of stupid.
Well, so, your words, not mine.
Here's a word for you. Buzz.
Can you believe it? They've entered production already.
Yeah, I can't. My page didn't come up. It went down. Okay, I'm back. It entered production already. Wow, can you believe it?
Yeah. I know. I know. Seeing it side by side with its, I assume that's the gas equivalent, it is a better looking car, I guess, from the front.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm glad to see that they've already started making them. It's only the European version, which is shorter range than the American version will be. 56,000 euros. That is pretty steep. And it's not a 6-seater. The European model is only a 5-seater. It doesn't have a third row.
Well, they don't have kids there, right?
No, I think they were banned sometime back.
Yeah. They just spawn them from eggs or something.
Yeah, that's the European way. I'll ask Lars from Best in Tesla. He can let me know what they do, but I don't think they do that.
That's going to be an interesting conversation. Lars, how do you birth children in Europe?
When I interviewed him, my first question is, what is a Europe? And there were people unfamiliar with my channel who were quite offended by that question. As if Americans are genuinely that green. WLTP of 263 miles, so what do you think, 210?
I think it'll be a little bit more than that, but
even still, that's 0 to 100%, and no one drives 0 to 100%.
Yeah, that's true. Or they better not be. Damn renters.
Yeah, they'll have a cargo van variant. It's exciting. Good. Get them out.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they look like if they ever make them here. For some reason, I just picture them as really small. But
it is small. The American version will be longer.
What about taller? Or
I don't think so. I think it'll be the same. I think they'll just stretch the overhang at the back of the Twinkie.
Okay. They should make one in a Twinkie color with white spots on the top.
I'm looking at the Inside EVs article, and that looks like a Twinkie.
Ooh, you're making me hungry. I want some sweets.
No, I know. Polestar 2. Any thoughts there?
Yeah.
Let's hear 'em.
What the hell? Did I just lose it? Polestar 2, are you on the BST edition 270?
That's the one.
All right, making sure we're on the right page. So this is a limited edition Polestar that was announced last week. They are only going to make, guess how many?
Limited edition, 5,000.
270. Says it right.
Okay.
Says it right there. Right there on the screen. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
270.
Yeah. Ham finished.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of a 4-door version of a Mustang.
Like a Mach? No, like a Mach-E.
Nope, not like the Mach-E. Like an actual Mustang. The front end just kind of reminds me of an older Mustang.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that. So, from my understanding, most of these cars are going to go to Europe. There's going to be like 12 or 15 are going to go to Canada, and about 40 are going to go to the U.S. So, guess what I did?
Well, yeah, so just for the viewers, we do have a rehearsal before this, but he never tells me when he does that.
Yeah. I didn't get one. I put my name in for consideration.
Right.
So, I got an email back saying, hey, thanks. Well, hopefully you're picked. So, if I get the car, it's going to be a very limited edition type of car because you're talking only 40 in the U.S. So, it's not a speedster. It's 4.2 seconds. A long-range Model Y is actually 1 second faster than that. So, it's nothing that exciting as far as speed goes, but I just think that this would be kind of cool. I'm sure I could rent something like this out. It costs a little bit more than a regular Polestar 2, which, when I say a little bit more, I should probably say it's probably about $20,000 more. So it's not horribly expensive. It's kind of cool, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get on the list. So.
And on Turo, you could rent it exclusively to YouTubers who want to make a review.
Because it will be extremely limited on who's going to be able to make a review on that. After I do.
Right. Right. And you put in the terms and conditions. You also have to link to me.
And you cannot drive it in the dirt.
Yeah.
No off-roading of any kind. Thank you. So Polestar is in the news a lot this week. They've got their new crossover, Polestar 3 crossover, has been revealed. And orders will be either later this year or early next year. I think it's later this year, and then they'll be coming out early next year. And they're going to be produced in South Carolina.
Interesting.
Yes. And what do
is
you
the factory already underway, or is it an old factory?
I believe that they purchased the factory because they're not building one that quickly.
No.
What do you think about that design?
I actually like it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I typically am not a fan of the crossover SUV form factor, but I think that looks nice.
Yeah, I think that also looks nice. So, I'll get myself on the list for that one too, just for the review. I'll spend $50,000 for a review.
In the comments, I would love to hear what you guys think of the look of the Polestar 3, because I don't know. I should look at it from more angles, but I'm not gonna.
Wow.
You know what's a weird looking one?
This is a trick question. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know. Cars that look like planes?
Yeah. Cars inspired by planes.
Yes.
Aptera raises $40 million to bring solar electric car with up to 1,000 miles of range to production. See, that is lean operation. Not $8 billion, not $30 billion, $40 million.
Yeah, you know what? We should have followed this article right after the Rivian, because they're burning $2 billion a quarter. These guys got $40 million, which is the amount I would probably be able to embezzle from Rivian, and they wouldn't notice. I mean, because $12 billion is a lot of money, and I'm surprised $40 million is not a lot. Especially when you compare it to like what Rivian needed to keep going. So, you think that's going to be enough?
I think what they're saying is 40 million more. I think, because I mean, just one stamping press is millions.
Yeah.
Any one part, a paint shop can be millions. In the comments, when we'd asked about the Polestar 3, Deep said on your channel, looks like a Mazda. I can see that.
And then he says we're going to short this. Deeps, you're looking at GGPI is the SPAC that Polestar is going to merge with, supposedly by the end of this quarter, which is within 23 days. And I think you will lose out. I think Polestar is going to actually be pretty successful with everything that they've got going on with the Polestar. The Polestar, what was the other one? Polestar 4? Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, and then I think there's we did once put on another one of the Polestars, and that was the one that had the drone that came out of the back. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
The Polestar 4 is looking like a more angular version of the Taycan. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I think Polestar is actually going to do fairly well. So Deeps, go ahead and short that if you like, but I'm going to say I'm not shorting it. But now, as far as the aeroplane thing, they're not public, are they?
Well, considering it said crowdfunding, that suggests to me that maybe they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that Sandy Munro is also consulting them. Anybody can confirm that in the comments. David did say that I love the look of Rivian and Polestar. I just don't want one.
What do you want?
And Digital Blade Canada pointed out on your channel, it's another 40 million that they're raising, not an initial 40 million. So that's, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how the market will react to a car like this. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, I think if it has the range, the weirdness of it is just going to be ignored, and people will look at it as something being unique, but also getting them 400 or 250 or 1,000 miles, depending on which version they get. And they do have 22,000 reservations, more than I got.
Hiking Lang said Aptera is not going to use a stamping press, which should save them a bunch. They're also outsourcing many parts, which is going to be interesting moving forward. That's what most companies do, is order in most of the parts and just assemble.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Thomas did say that, yes, Munro and Associates is working with Aptera, and Digital Blade Canada confirmed.
All right.
And Thomas has a reservation for one of those Apteras.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, for one of the ground planes.
Nice. I like the Solo. The Electromechanica Solo. I wonder if I would fit. And I was surprised that I did. I fit in the Solo better than I fit in the Lucid. Getting into it was easier on the Solo than the Lucid.
Have you sat in the back seat of the Lucid?
I have not.
Oh, you should. It looks very roomy.
Is there?
It looks like it's meant to be driven around in rather than drive.
Is there plenty of room for activities?
So much room for activities.
That's always important.
Any other new cars coming up? Probably not, huh?
Probably not.
Certainly not cheap ones.
Yeah, but maybe there is a cheap one in China.
I'm going to sit here until you try and pronounce it.
Oh, that's obviously Quantu.
I was going to say it's a nice Chianti with fava beans, but I'll take your word for it.
I could be 100% wrong. I could.
No. Yeah, and it's hardly important. Like the Xpeng is pronounced Xiaopeng. All right, whatever. Oh, it's America, buddy. An Xpeng.
Oh, yeah.
4.7 seconds for a 0 to 60 on a $13,000 car. That's cool, man.
That is really good.
Every market needs. I don't know about how many people need a 2-seater. Some people, but a compact 4-seater, a cheap car. It's time, baby. Make it happen.
So this is a 2-seater. It's obviously a commuter car. The Aptera is a 2-seater. There's plenty of 2-seaters out there right now. And people do have a use for them. It's obviously not if you're carpooling. Obviously not a grocery getter, or if you want to go pick up some lumber. Will this ever make it to the United States? Probably not.
No.
I'm sure there's some safety things that are not in here, because China is trying to bring their population down. So why put in airbags and sensors and things like that, right?
That's funny. The Miata was a beloved car. The BMW M3, is that the one I'm thinking, or is it the Z3?
Z3.
Z3?
Yeah.
Beloved cars. The Honda Prelude was, there was 2-seaters are right for some people. And at $13,000, man.
Pontiac Fiero. The Pontiac Fiero.
Fiero, yeah. Sunfire. Nobody liked that one.
Yeah. There was was it the Solstice? The 2-seater Pontiac convertible? Do you remember which one that was?
I thought that was the Sunfire.
Might have been. All right. And then Chrysler had the Crossfire.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. No, the Sunfire was a 2-door Saturn, is what it was.
Oh. That sounds horrible right there.
Oh, it's hideous. Yeah, that's the one, the Chrysler Crossfire. But those weren't super popular. Oh.
I don't know what that was.
Uh-huh.
Dinner bell!
What are we having?
Powerade.
Steve pointed out correctly the Pontiac Fiero was a crap car. Yes, that's actually, I think, their slogan, but they still sold. And true to GM's nature, those things love to catch on fire.
How sad. Um, so speaking of sad, isn't it sad that Tesla has invested like a handful of billions of dollars into Texas, and all they get is you can't sell your cars here?
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Tesla is excluded from their new extensive rebate program because it has to go through a dealer if you want the rebate, which is just stupid.
That sounds like another level of corruption. That is probably the National Automotive Dealers Association juicing the pockets of some politicians in Texas and saying, hey, if you want to get this EV rebate, we're all good with it, but make sure it goes through a dealer only. Because you know this rebate program is new. So this was just written into law. So that was put in there intentionally so that to benefit the dealers only. So scam.
Do you know how much it is?
Nah, I don't.
I didn't see a figure on it, but
I'm hoping it's like $50 instead of something substantial.
Yeah. Anybody can let us know in the comments. I know Elon was of the belief that things would improve, considering he's brought billions in construction and will be having, 1,000 positions, which this factory will have more than 1,000 positions at an average of $100,000, which is about Tesla's average, is $1 billion a year in salary going into Austin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's trying to make friends with people who are not going to be friends with him. He brought cookies for the whole class, and the popular kids still won't sit with him at lunch.
Yeah, something's going to give, though. This is, there's just, because he is someone who will call this out, saying this is corruption. He'll put it out on Twitter. He doesn't have any problems, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. If you're corrupt, he's going to say it. And that is something that I really respect about him, because most people are going to try and be polite and not offend anybody, even though they're getting shafted.
Thomas had a very good point. I guess that means the new Fords will be excluded as well.
The ones that will be sold directly online? Yeah, but I still think that's a ways out.
Right, and I think they'll still find a way to run them through the dealership. Just like, fine, you get $1,000 a car or something, just to sign the paperwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very frustrating. Yeah, Hiking Lang said, Kimball Musk should open a Tesla dealership next to the Tesla factory. That will sell all the Teslas in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would go over real well with the SEC, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about different workarounds. I mean, we know they opened up they weren't allowed in New Mexico, so they opened up a store on the Indian reservation to circumvent the laws, and they were able to do that. So they've got some people thinking about how to get around stuff like this. And
yeah.
Honestly, who does this hurt?
Consumers.
And the
environment.
It was completely put in there for the benefit of dealerships, and the end result is if someone's benefiting, someone's not, and that's the consumers.
Yeah.
Corruption.
On your channel, Jokel82 said, hello from Sweden. Have we talked about the DeLorean? The answer is yes. We talked about it last week and the week before.
Yes, and how they're only going to make 88 of these cars, and I got a better chance of getting a Polestar 2 270. Go figure.
Yeah, bit crazy. You realize, you remember in 1987, when Back to the Future, 1986, when Back to the Future came out, they went back to 1955, 31 years in the past. Do you realize that 1955 was closer to that year than it is to this year? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was only a 31-year gap. We're at 36 years, 37?
Yeah, where's my flying hoverboards?
Oh, you didn't get yours?
No.
Mm.
How was it shipped?
Um,
Time machine?
well, I ordered mine on Wish. I'm sure it'll be here any day.
You wish.
I get it. It's a bookshelf. It's closer than usual.
All right. So last but not least, for JJ.
You're still here, right?
Oh, look at that. Thank you, JJ. He just gave me a super chat. He's definitely still here.
So look at that. It looks like Walmart is on the ball. It looks like this is more than just a show. This might be a trial demo kind of model.
Yes, it sure does. What we're looking at here is a Nikola FCEV and a Nikola BEV. The one on the left, that is a BEV. The one on the right clearly says FCEV. There was some nonsense about on the interweb about this logo by the Walmart guy, by the Walmart logo on the truck, that the logo is bleeding into that guy's hat. But we did a close examination of it yesterday, and it is not. This is not photoshopped. I actually also found on Twitter, right before we started, so I didn't get a chance to send it to you, there was a video where people were walking around at this. They were celebrating in Arkansas some event yesterday or the day before, and they were declaring it some sort of happy recycle day or something. I don't remember. And they did show these two vehicles in a video of both of these are branded with the Walmart logos, and they are both Nikola trays. So the one on the right is definitely an Alpha vehicle. The one on the fuel cell, and the one on the left is not. So they are real. They were real. They really do have the Walmart logos on it. There was also, and I'm not reposting this. There was a couple things on Twitter. It was an analysis by an analyst done on May 5th that stated that Nikola has orders, thousands of orders, unannounced orders, from Amazon, Walmart, UPS, and Pepsi. So they
absolutely none of those would surprise me.
Yeah, and
those are all very, those are all very big customers.
Yes. And Anheuser-Busch was also listed, but we know that to be a fact. So there's definitely the feeling going on that Nikola's holding back on their orders. Not sure till when. Maybe until the market stabilizes a little bit. So
or they're ready to take delivery right away.
Yeah. For these fuel cell trucks, they're not going to be until earliest next year because they're not ready to produce them.
Oh, yeah.
So
no, fuel cell's still a ways out. John Yent said, Walmart will need more trucks than any single manufacturer can provide. They will test them all out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. So JJ Super Chat, thank you. He said, why when Pepsi rumored to get Tesla Semi, mainstream YouTubers make 420 vids, but Pepsi never got one. Meanwhile, Walmart gets 2 Nikola trucks and nothing. He does have a point. What do you think?
Well, I think the enthusiasm around Tesla is higher than Nikola.
Mm-hmm.
There are only a handful of Nikola exclusive channels, and they struggle to attract viewers. So content producers follow the money. And have we heard any kind of press release from Nikola with any kind of details on this program yet?
No. Well, just that they have different customers that they're testing with.
That makes it difficult for someone to make a video without just guessing what's going on.
Yeah, when somebody there was a video out there yesterday, but it's all done on conjecture. I mean, all we can see here is that they're testing the trucks. There's not much more we can say about it except for just the hyperbole that everyone always says this is going to happen and this could happen. Well, we all know that already. But we actually need to... I mean, what if their testing turns into 20 orders? All right, well, 20 is great, but you need, like Anheuser-Busch, 800. That's pretty substantial, or Hertz buying 100,000 Tesla Model 3s. That's substantial,
And I'm not worried about any of the pickup makers having a lack of customers. That's not going to be a thing. If you can make 1,000 Class 8 semis, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Big rig. You will sell 1,000. Period. Would you agree with that?
Well, as long as they're functional and they work.
Right. Right. Of course. Yeah. Anybody want to get any last minute questions in? Because we are at 5 o'clock. I do want to thank you guys. Remind Bears viewers, I am almost at 1,000 subs. Pretty please, Kenzie helps me out. If not, I understand. It would just be great.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not even eligible for super chats.
Yeah, come on, guys. Help the kid out. Help the kid out. Just subscribe.
Despite having done this for 32 episodes now, and been doing this channel since what, October? Is it that long? No, it's probably March. Anyway, it's like 125 days. So it's like 4 months I've been doing this. Help me out. And subscribe to Bear if you're not, because what are you doing, man? It doesn't cost you anything. He only charges me to subscribe, which I'm happy with, because I get the value.
It's a decent deal. It's a win-win situation for me.
For him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me.
He does both of the wins, so that's enough for both of us. It averages out, man.
Yeah. And I want to thank the tens of viewers. We've been swamped today. So
I'm at 34.
Yeah, I'm at 23. I was up to 30, so I got a little excited for a moment, and then I guess people had to go.
I would also thank my Patreons. We get early access, bonus content, and ad-free experience, all that good stuff. I want to thank the folks who showed up in chat. Wendland, Digital Blade Canada, Who Is This? Hockey Day, John, Neo, I think was the name that I saw.
Neo is here. I saw Neo.
Yeah.
Yes, Neo Power.
Thomas. Mm-hmm. Steve Rosen showed up. That was cool. Steve's a cool guy. We met him at the event there.
Yes.
He was there with his son.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else? John's Touchpad. Yeah, thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. On Johnest. That's a fun name. Yeah, very cool, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone. There was a comment that I just wanted to touch on real quick from Deeps, if you're still here. How big of a generator would one need to practically charge a car to, say, go 30 miles? If you're talking about a handheld generator or a camping generator, those will not charge a electric vehicle. It is not clean enough energy, and the sine waves are not proper. I have tried it with a generator that I own, and the Tesla said blah and got nowhere with that. So just a little bit of a tit of information, though one day I will try it on a Cummins generator, slightly different, and see if that works one day when I get a chance, just for information purposes. But I want to thank everyone who's here. Ellie, good seeing you. I wish I actually saw you. And we appreciate everyone who was here, so thank you to my patrons who get really nothing from me, not like the early access stuff that Brian tries to get for you. My patrons, we enjoy your support to help us get out to the site several times a week so that we can film at Lucid and Nikola. You're helping us to offset costs, and Brian's doing it because he loves you guys. So, but give him money also.
Yeah. I enjoy doing it. One last thing real quick. Thomas and Hockey Day are having a quick chat here saying, put a universal power supply in line with the generator, to which Thomas said, ooh, you need to replicate my rig. It works. So there are solutions, but in terms of how much of a generator you would need, my speculation is a large one and quite a bit of time, even if you get it to work.
Well, I'm sure there's ways. I have 3 generators here that I could try. One's a 3,500 watt portable generator. One's a 4,000 kilowatt. Did I say 3,500 watt? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Then a 4 kilowatt generator, a Cummins generator. And then I've got like a construction style generator. They're real loud. That one's 5,000 kilowatts. So if it would work, The 5,000 kilowatt would obviously be the fastest. But
5 kilowatts or
Five-
5,000?
5,000 watts, 5,000
I
5
was
kilowatts.
very impressed.
Oh yeah, it's big. It's so big.
All
That's what
right.
she said. All right.
I actually talked to her. We should probably finish this conversation offline. I have terrible news.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here, Bear. Good to see you. See you next week and all that good stuff. Join my live stream Friday. Bear's got a bunch of live stuff coming up too.
Yep. Got something coming up tomorrow for Lucid, so we'll see you tomorrow for Lucid.
Oh, and next week we might have something special in the show. We're trying to iron something out. That would be really cool if we can get it. We'll
Yeah.
let you know.
Yeah, it's very
Don't wanna
possible we might get a sneak interview. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It's possible, but it's still an outside chance at this point. Don't want to get anyone's hopes up, so we'll see.
We should, though.
Okay.
But all right.